Is the 2025 Dacia Duster everything it claims to be? Or is there more beneath the surface? Welcome back to Supercar. Today, we're diving deep into the 2025 Dacia Duster, beyond the flashy ads and promo shots, to reveal what really matters when the rubber hits the road. We're talking design, performance, build quality, and most importantly, value. Because while the Duster might seem like a steal at first glance, some hidden compromises might make you think twice. Dacia wants you to see the Duster as this rugged, modern SUV, and yeah, in pictures it kind of pulls it off. The sleek lines, the bold grille, and those aggressive headlights, it all looks pretty convincing at first glance. But let's get real, folks. Get up close and the cost-cutting measures are clear as day. The moment you touch the surfaces, you can feel the difference. We're talking hard plastics galore, the kind that remind you of those old-school lunch boxes. Some questionable panel gaps here and there, you know, the usual suspects when a car screams budget-friendly. It's like they assembled it in a hurry. Don't get me wrong, it's not all doom and gloom inside. There are some redeeming qualities. The infotainment system, for instance, is a massive step up from the previous generation. Bigger screen, better graphics, snappier response times, it's actually pretty decent. You can finally use it without feeling like you're in the early 2000s. But then you go and use the climate control knobs and it feels like you're cranking a medieval torture device. It's almost comical how out of place they feel. Inconsistency, thy name is Duster. One moment you're impressed, the next you're scratching your head. And the spaciousness they boast about? Well, it's there in the front, I'll give them that. Plenty of legroom and headroom for the driver and front passenger. But good luck fitting actual adults in the back for anything longer than a trip to the grocery store. It's a tight squeeze back there. Oh, and that panoramic sunroof they show in the ads? It looks fantastic, right? Yeah, that'll be an extra $1,000, thank you very much. So, if you're dreaming of that open sky, be ready to open your wallet too. Dacia markets the Duster as this adventure-ready SUV, ready to tackle any terrain. And while it can handle a dirt road better than your average hatchback, let's not get ahead of ourselves. The ride is, well, let's just say it's a firm one. You're gonna feel every bump, every pothole, every pebble on the road, and don't even get me started on the noise. Look, I'm not expecting luxury car levels of silence, but the amount of wind and road noise that seeps into the cabin is honestly impressive. It's like they forgot to install insulation altogether. Now, in terms of build quality, it's not the worst I've seen, but it's definitely not what you'd call confidence-inspiring. The doors close with a slightly tinny thunk, and some of the interior trim pieces feel like they might just come loose if you look at them wrong. Again, it's all about managing expectations here. Under the hood, you've got a choice between a petrol and a diesel engine. Now, Dacia claims both are fuel-efficient powerhouses, but in reality, it's a bit more complicated than that. The petrol engine is fine for city driving, but take it out on the open road, and it quickly runs out of steam. Overtaking maneuvers require careful planning and a whole lot of patience. The diesel, on the other hand, is surprisingly capable. It's got plenty of low-end torque, which makes it feel much livelier than the petrol, especially at lower speeds. Plus, the fuel economy is genuinely impressive. Now here's the kicker. The manual transmission is actually the way to go here. I know, manuals are becoming rarer than honest politicians these days, but trust me on this one. The automatic is just painfully slow and unresponsive. It sucks all the fun out of driving the Duster. Let's talk about the elephant in the room, the price. When you're in the market for a new car, the sticker price is often the first thing that catches your eye. But is it really the best indicator of value? The Dacia Duster 2025 is undeniably one of the cheapest SUVs you can buy. Its low price tag makes it an attractive option for budget-conscious buyers. But here's the catch. That low starting price gets you a pretty bare-bones car. We're talking manual windows, no touchscreen infotainment, and a very basic interior that lacks the modern conveniences many of us have come to expect. And let's not forget about safety. The basic safety features on the entry-level Duster wouldn't look out of place on a car from a decade ago. No advanced driver assistance systems, no modern airbag configurations. Want things like Apple CarPlay, parking sensors, or even alloy wheels? These are considered premium features and are not included in the base model. Be prepared to shell out extra for option packages or higher trim levels. These add-ons can quickly inflate the price, making that initially affordable Duster much more expensive. And suddenly that affordable Duster starts to look a lot less appealing, especially when you realize how much more you'll need to spend to get the features you want. This becomes even more evident when you compare it to similarly equipped competitors. Other brands might offer more features for a similar or slightly higher price, giving you better value for your money. Don't get me wrong, there's value to be had here. The Duster can still be a good buy if you know exactly what you're getting into and what compromises you're willing to make. But you really need to do your research and figure out which features are must-haves for you. Make a checklist, compare different models, and ask plenty of questions at the dealership. Otherwise, you might end up with a car that feels like a constant reminder of all the things you skimped on. And that's a feeling no one wants when driving their new car. So, what's the verdict from actual Duster owners? Well, it's a mixed bag to say the least. Opinions are all over the place, reflecting the diverse experiences of the owners. Some people absolutely love their Dusters. They find it to be the perfect companion for their daily commutes and weekend adventures. They praise its practicality, its ruggedness, and of course its affordability. For them, the Duster is a versatile vehicle that meets all their needs. They're willing to overlook the cheap plastics and the bumpy ride because, hey, it gets the job done. The value for money is undeniable. But then, there are the others. The ones who feel like they got the short end of the stick. The ones who are constantly battling software glitches in the infotainment system, which can be incredibly frustrating. Dealing with rattles and squeaks that seem to come from every corner of the car, and wondering why their brand new car feels like it's falling apart. It's a disheartening experience for them. And let's not forget the horror stories of delivery delays, unresponsive dealerships, and questionable after-sales service. These issues can really sour the ownership experience. The truth is, buying a Dacia Duster is a bit of a gamble. You never quite know what you're going to get. You might get lucky and end up with a reliable workhorse that exceeds your expectations, a car that serves you well for years to come. Or, you might end up with a lemon that makes you regret ever setting foot in a Dacia dealership. It's a risk that not everyone is willing to take. It's a risk you have to be willing to take. Weigh the pros and cons carefully before making your decision. So there you have it, the 2025 Dacia Duster in all its glory or lack thereof. It's a car that's full of contradictions. It's cheap, but it can also feel incredibly cheap. It's capable off-road, but it's not exactly comfortable on it. It's practical, but it's not exactly well-equipped. Still tempted by the Duster 2025, only if you know exactly what you're getting into. The Dacia Duster 2025 may be a smart buy, or a shortcut full of compromises. Now that you know what really matters, would you still go for it? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Supercar for honest car reviews and smart buyer insights. So, what's the bottom line? The Dacia Duster 2025 is a car that defies easy categorization. It's not a bad car by any means, but it's definitely not for everyone. If you're on a tight budget and you need a basic, no-frills SUV that can handle the rough stuff, then the Duster might be worth considering. However, if you value things like refinement, comfort, and cutting-edge technology, you're better off looking elsewhere. There are plenty of other SUVs in this price range that offer a more well-rounded package. Ultimately, the decision of whether or not to buy a Dacia Duster 2025 is a personal one. Just make sure you go into it with your eyes wide open,